Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of Imperator Rome, where we are tracing the legendary steps of the Langobards, also known as the Dwarves, because they have iron and gold and big bushy beards. So, what has happened in the previous episode? Well, there was a civil war. One of the mutinous factions, one of the clan chiefs of evil, tried to split the nation in twain. Unfortunately for him, he was outwitted at every level by the good old Sigismund Geraldus, who completely decimated our opponents and has made everyone else super duper loyal, because they now know what will happen if they are not. The other main chief is now growing his army a little bit, but he's a lot more loyal. We've got our own forces here, and in fact, before I forget, we should take a look at what kind of stance we want to have ourselves. So it's saying here the most efficient would be bottleneck, which is making the heavy infantry better and the light or the archers better. There's also a fairly good damage bonus against shock and hit and run. What's good against skirmish? What's skirmish look like? It's the wolf. Envelopment's good against... No, that's shock. Shock against envelopment. Skirmish is... That one. So deception's good against skirmishes, but this army would be terrible at that. We have no chariots. We do have archers and we do have heavy infantry. Shock action is also good for heavy infantry. But I think we're going to go with bottleneck. One other thing I should point out is some of the stances, in the same way that some soldiers have bonuses to other things. So for example, the heavy infantry costing more supply, using skirmishing will reduce the casualties inflicted by both sides by 25%. So if you have an army which you're using to chase down somebody else to kind of grab them and stop them while your main army goes in and punches them, you probably want your grab and stop army to be skirmishing, because they will take less casualties and therefore the battle will go on longer until your main force can arrive and actually do the damage. And various different ones have different abilities. So shock action will actually increase the casualties done by both sides, so it's just more brutal. So if you're trying to really attrition someone in a war that you have a serious manpower go away, Siri, advantage, then you probably want to use shock. Envelopment doesn't change anything else. There's no modifiers for that. Skirmishing, we've seen, is the casualty reduction. Deception doesn't do anything. A block bottleneck doesn't do anything. But we're going to go bottleneck because it has these advantages, and also we have that army composition for our main army. Good stuff. So they're going to head home. In other news, we are once again making money. And talking of money, we haven't really looked at the trade overview. I must admit, this is a little bit that I am not entirely sure about, because we have imports and we have exports, because we are exporting our own goods to our own provinces, going from Lugia to Ciscarpathia. So we're exporting grain and then importing grain from our own provinces. Are we actually making money from both of these deals? I would doubt it. I think we must only be making one of these. Commerce, 0.35. We're making 0.44 from this. I really don't know how that's being calculated. If we go to the economy tab, can we see trade income? So we can... Yeah, here we go, commerce. Ciscarpathia and Lugia is making commerce. So yes, I think we are making money from both sides of this. I just don't know how exactly this is calculated, because 0.88 this isn't. But generally, I think that internal trades are more profitable. But if you do that, then I don't think you get the export bonus, because there is actually an export bonus for selling grain, which would be national manpower plus 5%, which we're not getting. So if we were exporting grain to somebody else, then because of that agreement, we would have manpower growth. Don't ask me why, we just do. Here, have less food. Oh, great, more population. Fantastic. A wealthy patron. The city of Umbium has often been overlooked by the wealthy patrons of our capital. Today, however, Varakumar Eitgid has offered to spend a sizable quantity of wealth on constructing a grand temple. He has requested our permission before he embarks on such a construction. So we can say yes, he will lose 200. He becomes pious. And Umbium becomes... gets local unrest reduction until the end of the game. Hell yeah. Or we get 2 slaves instead, and Vakromar becomes cruel. I like the idea of getting an unrest reduction for the rest of the game. Let's do that. Very well. And where's Ambium? Ambium is right there. Now, does it show those provincial bonuses anywhere? Yes, it does, right there. Aha, okay. See, learning process. I'm still trying to pick up some of these things. All of the armies are doing good stuff. You're slowly but surely building up to your strength. And then you're being a bit of a legend. Oh, you're a new army. You also need to change your orders. And I think you're going to go for deception. Are you deception too? Yeah, both of our armies. So we've got 2 armies of deception and 1 bottleneck. So we've got the tortoise and the hare. See, these are hares. That's a tortoise. Haha! We win the race whatever happens. Money is still coming in. Now, are there any other diplomatic things we want to do? Or indeed moving of population? Because we've been trying to move additional people into this province. I think what we can do is move one of these guys into Matuska. Then Matuska can go ahead and colonize Agram. Now Agram was actually completely empty. Right, that was one of the provinces that we migrated away. We're that much closer to getting these lovely, lovely gemstones. But we've also gained access to Woad once more, which gives local tribesmen happiness. All of our tribesmen are going to be happier in this entire province, which is great. Although they're already pretty happy. And we do still have some more civic power, so do we want to try and move any other population around? You've got a population of 9, but you're already colonizing that. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't show the colonization timer. Marconis is still going to be a long ways away. It's actually kind of bad that Ibadura has such a high population, because they're kind of stuck there. They're not really contributing to the rest of our economy. So maybe we want to move the tribesmen out to Marconis so that we can start colonizing a bit more of the south. You know what? I think that's a good idea, because you're now trapped here. Hellenic regional power of Cyrenacia has folded. War averted. They folded to the threat of war from the Hellenistic major power of Egypt and gave them the city of Petros Mikros. So one of the things you can do when you are a major power like that is threaten war. And basically say, give me that city or I crush you. And they were like, okay, I'm sorry. Alright, let's move you to Marconis, or Moronis even. And let's move you to Moronis. And you to Moronis. And you to Moronis. So we're kind of emptying our capital here, but we are increasing this. So we're up to 8. So I think we're going to want to do 2 more. And we can later on start to repopulate Ibadura, but right now it's not in our best interest to do so. What's that? Those aha, barbarians! Barbarians. So we've had barbarians attacking Bohemia. Let's go to the barbarian map mode, if I can find it. There it is. They must have spawned from up here. Ooh. We're actually next door to some as well. Interesting. Barbarian power in this province is currently 8. Monthly civilization will go down by 0.2. Barbarian spawn chance 1.6. There is a chance, I guess, every month that they'll spawn. This is the current military strength of the barbarian tribes living in the area. The higher the value, the higher the chance of them to spawn, and the larger the barbarian army will be. So, we're going to be dealing with those barbarians for a while. It's clearly the orcs. These are the orcs who have forever been the great foe of the dwarven the Langobardian peoples. So, yeah, we just need to be ready for that. I didn't realise we were quite so close. That's a little bit problematic, but also kind of cool, because we're just going to have every now and then just these people just spilling out of the mountain tunnels, and meaning that we have to go and reclaim Moria. So what are these guys doing? So they are currently sieging, but like I said before, barbarians can actually be good. I think that they can choose to settle areas and then basically become tribesmen. Don't know how that works. Never had to be up against them before. You're taking attrition sitting there. Let's move you away. And we are getting quite a large army from our tribes once more. Now, I wonder... Your loyalty, is it at all affected by the size of my army? I don't think so. Which is a little bit unfortunate. I would think that having an army would intimidate people into not wanting independence quite so much. Yeah, their loyalty is coming down pretty quickly because of the size of their armies. I mean, him being exalted is helping. Oh, bloody hell, you are wealthy. How did you get that wealthy? I mean, this is the kind of person we want to banish, because if you banish someone, you get a portion of their wealth. Interesting. Right, so Marconis, we could move another person. You move to Maronis. Then there's one more that we need to do, and then we can colonize. And our population of freemen here is actually growing. Our population of citizens here is growing, which I do like. And I suspect we will start losing money as we're moving population away from here because we are getting... citizen happiness, never mind. That just allows heavy infantry. Need just one more. Oh, you know the other thing we still haven't done? Chosen our ideas. I've been waiting for oratory power in order to do it, and we have that now. And I would like to get extra points in every single category, although I must admit it would also be very, very tempting to get the build cost and build time, but we haven't really had the finances to do that. So let's increase the morale of our armies and the reinforcement morale recovery speed, because there's absolutely no point getting the permanent shipyards. Then other ideas do become available later. So once you have martial advances level 6, then you get the next level, which is the thalassocracy, conscription, and siege training. And then at level 12, you get the elite soldiery, militarized society. Wow, army maintenance cost reduction, and navy. That's huge. And then the experience decay as well. Okay, cool. I wonder if your starting experience is the minimum experience in a unit, because that would kind of make sense. And we gain the morale buff, so our maximum morale also needs to be ticked up to. Are we actually on low army maintenance right now? Yes, we are. Okay. Which is a little bit dangerous, being right next to the Carpathians. Not a lot we can do about that, though. Right, let's move that one extra person to Maronis, and the Maronis can now colonize. So we can colonize another gold mine, or we could continue trying to expand in this province, which would give us a ton of grain. It would also give us new borders down here in the south, so we would effectively connect Northern Europe with Southern Europe if we connected all of that. Which we would have to if we wanted these grain provinces. But they are currently unoccupied. There's also livestock here. This is a really wealthy area. If we went for this, we would just get grain, one grain here. Precious metals, leather, hemp, wood. No, I think we want to go this way. Because getting the extra grain supplies here would just increase the population growth basically throughout the rest of my nation. So let's go ahead and colonize this. As soon as I get the civic power to do it. Also, we can do another omen, which we will do shortly. Boop. Okay. And we have once again grown. Right, let's continue getting the Blessing of Tius. Although we do have national unrest. Maybe we should have taken the unrest reduction thing. I'm just going to double check my provincial happiness, because everywhere is going to be decreasing province loyalty right now because of the unrest. I think that's how it works. Maybe not. Higher unrest will cause province loyalty to decrease for any given province. If enough cities have high unrest, the overall province loyalty will begin to decrease. Okay, so it does have that effect. Furthermore, local tax City, provincial loyalty, manpower, research and commerce are also decreased because of our high levels of unrest. Okie dokie. Noted. Meanwhile, constant wars up there. I mean, we have kind of escaped from that fate. Frisia's still alive, that's good to see. Corinthia. Brigandia's died. That's the nation in the multiplayer games who usually manages to unite Britain. Scandinavia's still pretty split. A couple more cities being abandoned here. Don't know whether it's due to migration or due to pillaging. A strapping young adult by the name of Walduberg Eidgigdaber Walu approached our tribal chief in private this morning. In a hushed voice, she spoke of a vision of a near future, in which she was found by her loved ones having been killed under mysterious circumstances. With shaking hand, she offered all of her worldly goods to the state in return for our protection. So we can gain 22 ducats, or we can convince her that all will be well, which will give us some more oratory. Now, we've just spent the oratory that we needed to spend, although we could potentially do some citizen promotions. No, I think we're going to take the money. We'll promise to take care of you. I'd like to increase our bank account a bit more. So that's all good. Okay, good. Good. Bohemia, keeping troops out here for some reason. Interesting. Manpower is growing. We're suffering a little bit of winter attrition, but it is January, so it's not entirely surprising. Now, are there any other population movements that we could be doing in order to expand? You've just colonized, so there's not going to be much that you can do. Possibly from Ambium. Possibly from Lugia too. What are the trade goods in the area? Veggies, leather, hemp. What's leather do again? Cohort recruit. And then wood. I mean, taking Lycia is not a terrible idea. There's a decent amount of population there. None of these have an excellent amount, although you do have some citizens. That would also effectively cut you off from being occupied by other areas. Slave output for hemp. We have no slaves, but it would give me another citizen, which increases my science rate. That is very tempting. I think that is the thing we are going to do. So you currently have a population of 9. You need one more. So I think you are going to move to Ambium. And then Ambium is going to colonize this, which requires more civic power. Now, just out of interest, what's my population at? 44. Slowly but surely growing. That's true, we can... no. Next stability point's going to be even more expensive. Where's religious? There it is. Next point will cost 400. We don't have 100% religious unity anymore, but I don't think that matters so much. 2 more years of having the negative relations. A son has been born to Sigismund. Hey, the king's got a kid. I named him Sigismund. Right, which one was it I was going to get? That one. Colonize. A Swabian from Ambium. Move. And there we go. Another province. Population continues to grow. As does the nation as a whole. So how much money are we making now? 2 ducats. Good. I really do like how these migratory hordes work. Like, we would have been so just squished in this area. The only way that we could expand is war. I mean, that's fine. It's interesting. I just like having this ability. I mean, we are very spread out. We have low population in a large territorial area, rather than these guys who will be more concentrated, but we just have more space to expand outwards. Sun Lake has made a lot of friends at court these last few months and proven how much of a boon it could be under our rule. By opening our door to a larger audience, there is nothing to limit our rule further. As Sun Lake has already done a lot of the work necessary to change our council, it simplifies it for the rest of the process for us. The real question lies as if we should listen to his advice. or not. So we get open hearings, which increases the number of clan chiefs, but loses us oratory. Sigismund gains prominence, he gains loyalty, and he gains... Oh no, I gain prominence, he gains loyalty and prominence. Or we say no and he loses a bunch of loyalty. I don't want more chiefs. It's too hard to control. Although it would give me another army. And it does increase his loyalty. I mean, so long as we keep, like, at least half of the chiefs loyal to us, sure. Because that also gives us another army, which makes us militarily stronger. So long as we can keep everyone together. So we need a way of, like, boosting loyalty, just generally. Because, yeah, these two not looking amazingly loyal. You lose loyalty very quickly, simply because of the number of troops you have. We've got 9 troops already. Oh, we've got a retinue. Oh, that's because 2 of these units have become loyal. Yeah, that's why. So every month we have a 0.3% chance of one of these becoming loyal to Siggy, and 2 of them have. Right, and does it say anything about how much we're paying them? Loyal to Commander, pay 50%. There we go. So he's having to maintain some of those troops himself. So what about these guys? Yeah, so they pay for their retinues entirely. And then my loyal retinues, we have to pay 50%. So we are making more money overall because of that. Okay, so loyalty is not entirely bad, especially not if they're loyal to you. Which is good, because we are that character. They're loyal to that character. So if he gets ousted as the chief, then he could cause problems, because we still play as Langobardia. But I don't think it's actually possible for that to happen. Cool. Now, is there anywhere else that we can try to expand to? We could move a person to Matskua, though Matskua's just expanded, so that's not going to be possible. You have 7 population, you have 1. You have 9, you have 1. So we'd need to move a population from here to here to here. Yeah, it's going to be quite important to remember where our population centers are versus where they're, well, not. Temple collapses. The beautiful temple in the province of Ambium has sadly collapsed in a minor architectural incident. If we wish to, we could invest a little bit of money into restoring it, so we can lose 11 ducats, or we lose Ambium's temple. I'm going to restore it. I'm going to see if that's like a constant cost, because that temple lasted about a year. Which is really not a very long time. Where was that really populous province that we saw previously? Gothinia. I think I actually saw one which was even more. Yeah, there's a couple of pretty high population places over there. That was a 6. Looking through all of these just to see what the populations are like. Nothing particularly noteworthy at the moment. Who are these guys? Eravisia. Them. Bohemia, are you at war with them? No. Oh, we can do an invention. Army morale recovery, omen power, diplo rep. Prove opinion could be good. National commerce could become more and more important, although we're still not getting a huge number of duplicates to actually trade. Or we could save the civic power for moving people around to expand more. You know what? We could move one of these people. Oh no, you're a colony of Ambium. No, we can't. Yeah, we just need to wait. Just get some time. I'm going to keep the civic power just ticking up because it's going to get spent. Because we're using quite a lot of it to grow our borders currently. So how's the barbarian threat? They're on a 9.9. 1.9% spawn chance. I feel really uncomfortable having my armies this close to the barbarians right now. Let's move you over there. That way, hopefully, they don't just spawn next to us. I'd also tempted to try and build up the fortification. Oh, but we move people out, so we don't have the city buildings anymore. Right. Yeah, that's a thing. That is indeed a thing. So how's the government looking? Okay, so you're going to be causing a civil war soon. You're going to be super loyal. How good a fighter are you? You are an even worse fighter than the previous person I destroyed. Alright, how are you looking? We can exalt him again. We're going to exalt him again. Like, this guy's kind of the key to our entire empire. We just need to keep him on side if there is an uprising. We could try to bribe him again, but now his corruption's going to be growing, which means that his monthly wage goes up. I'm kind of okay with that. Like, if we're having to spend this much money on keeping this guy sweet, then so be it. Also means that we're gaining some corruption, which I think increases the power costs of everything. Yeah, my ruler corruption's not a good thing. Makes everything more expensive. But we're keeping you sweet, so if he does rise up... how popular are you? Ish. But we could do the thing again where we just band together right next to him and then squish. There it is. Another civil war in 13 months. And now he's disloyal, so he's moving himself somewhere else. We should probably give chase. Maybe merge these guys together. Well, not merge, but have you, together. Speaking of which, you need to have an order. 100% deception, seeing as that's a bonus for the chariots. Sounds good to me. Now, was there anywhere else that I could expand? I know I keep checking this, I keep forgetting. I don't think Sidoris has expanded anywhere for a while. I like the idea of getting the vegetables, just to get more stuff in this province. So, you need 3 people. 1, 2, 3. And Valitum gets someone from Sidoris. Tribesman. Boom. And we have expanded once more. Using up a bunch of civic power, but worth it. Nine months. 9 months, and then I can spike my loyalty once more. But this is definitely a much shorter gap since the previous war. Let's make sure we're all together, and then we can just go and stomp him. I really do wonder if we could just go here. What's the supply? 13. No, we can't do that. Way too much. I mean, what we could do is have my faction leader here with his armies. Then as soon as the war breaks out, we move these 2 in. No, I don't like that idea. Let's move him away again. I can't move you, can I? Nope, because he's disloyal. 7 months. Oh, right. Stop paying the army again. Probably wise. Although, I don't know whether that means that their armies start on low loyalty too. It's possible. Then we could just do reorganize to gain morale quicker and then just stomp them while they're still trying to regain. Sneaky! Right, how long until the next religion thing? Quite a long time, so I think I'm going to increase stability once more. Because that does increase the loyalty of subject states. It increases my popularity and also national tax. Yeah, I like having high stability, and I don't find there's a huge amount of things to spend religious points on outside of omens, and we're still like halfway through. We're actually not a million miles away from our first military tradition, which is going to be great. 5 months remaining. $9,000 versus 12,000. A feud. 2 of our tribesmen have come forward today to ask for help in settling an ownership over a gold statue they found. Sigihild Geralda believes it belongs to her as she was the one to find it, whereas Aitsun Dagarasia says it belongs to her as it was discovered on her land. So Geralda gets loyalty, Sigihild gains 100 monies, and Aitsun loses loyalty. It belongs to Langobardia. I gain tyranny, I gain money. Both of them dislike us, or it belongs to the gods. We get religious power and they like us a bit less. Oh, it's clearly Langobardia's. Like, it's my money. I mean, mine. Yeah. Now, we can build a building. Question is, where? And what? Or we could just sit on the money and build a bigger army. No, I think we should invest in a building. As long as we don't migrate away from that spot. Ambium. Let's build a building here. Let's get a granary. Big population. Seems reasonable to me. Two months. 1 month. And also I'm fairly sure that we no longer have the unrest penalty. So how loyal are these places? You're still going down. Why? Because apparently there's still a lot of unrest. Military purge plus... I thought we got rid of that. Nation overview. Military purge. Oh, 18... It is the... I guess it resets at the end of the month. Okay. So it's exactly 5 years since the last civil war. Oh dear, this one split rather more... Uh-oh. Aggressively. And Sun Lake joined their side. I thought I resolved your loyalty issues. Apparently I didn't. Interesting. And at that point we shall have to leave this stream. Thank you, or episode. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you're enjoying this. This is going to be an amazing start for the stream. If you are, be sure to hit that follow button, subscribe button, so that you get notifications when I do more of this stuff. If you want to see the stream live when we go and deal with this, then you will need to go to twitch.tv/Mordred Viking to watch it. Schedule will be on the Twitch page and also on the Discord, a link to which you can find in the description below. If you want to support the channel, then you can do so if you check out the Patreon, which is at patreon.com/MordredViking. And if you want to come and hang out with the community, you can do that in the Discord, which is also linked below. Thanks everyone for watching. This is a classic Mordred cliffhanger right here. Classic Mordred cliffhanger. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.